So before I start, let me remind you some little and important notes. From this PowerPoint, from this lesson exactly, I'm going to collect your notes, and your notes will be as your classwork. Please make sure that you write everything that I write and send it to me exactly same thing that you send the homework. Remember, this is something required. This is something will help you in Skyward. Homework. Today you will have homework 8-2. You have to submit it. The last day for this lesson will be tomorrow. Tomorrow you will have another homework. Please, girls, make sure that you practice. Please take everything seriously. Before I start this lesson, I would like to discuss with you and remind you what did we learn in the previous lesson. In the previous lesson, we learned how to multiply monomial by polynomial. For example, if we have x to the power 2, that example, x to the power 2 times 2x to the power 3 plus 5x x2 to the power 2, plus 6x. So what is the simplified form? What is the simplified form? The question, if I am asking you what is the simplified form, all your job, you are going to distribute this one for all of them. So you are going to multiply this one by this one, this one by this one, this one by this one. So -1 and -2, that will be -2. X to the power at the same base as the powers. So that will be x to the power 5 plus will be, sorry, minus, because here I have minus times 5. So that will be 5 x to the power 4. Finally, we have negative, it will be -6 x to the power 3. So that's for this part. We also discussed about another thing, find the greatest common factor, or we can say what is the factored form of the following. So let me give you example. I saw some students writing without steps. For this moment, girls, please try to show all your work to avoid confusing. So that's 5x to the power 4 plus 15 x to the power 3 minus 10 to the power x to the power 2. So here I can tell you what is the greatest common factor. It is up to you. As I said, some of you they like to shorter the steps. So I will see what is the smallest thing here. The smallest thing here I can say it's 5x to the power 2, x to the power 2. So the remaining inside is x to the power 2 plus, here will be 3x minus 2. Why I'm saying all that? Let me remind you, if I factor this term alone, if I factor 5x to the power 4, which is equals to 5 already prime number, and I can say that's x times x times x. If I go to the second term, again, 15x to the power 3, so that is directly will be 5 times 3, x 3 times x. Finally, we have the last term, negative 10x to the power 2. So that is equals to 2 times 5. Don't forget the negative x and x. If you try and see the common between all of them, you will notice that 5 is one from them, and that's what I wrote here. And you have x x, x in all of them, x, x, x in all of them, so x to the power 2. The remaining is here x to the power 2, that's what I wrote. 3x, that's what I wrote, minus 2. With the experienced girls, you will find it immediately like the way that I did, which is directly. But this is the basic idea. This is the basic idea. If you feel you can find it like this, find it. But in the beginning, girls, I advise you to show the steps. So that's for the previous lesson. That's the main idea from the previous lesson. There is one more thing I would like to give you as an exercise. Make sure that you wrote everything that I write in the PowerPoint. So if you have, for example, like this, and this is a triangle, and then you have 2x. I gave you, I think, something similar in the homework. That is 2x to the power 2. And here you have the space is 5x to the power 2 to the power 2 plus 4x. The question tell you find the area. Find the area. So if I'm telling you find the area, you know the area. What is the area for a triangle? You know the area for a triangle. It's A equals to half base by height. So the base is given 1 over 2 is given. B is given what? The base is this one. So that is 5x to the power 2 plus 4x times, what is h? What is the height? This one. So just substitute your work and then x to the power 2, then distribute, which is exactly the same concept that I gave you here in this part. I remembered that I gave you also a question, I think I don't remember the question exactly, but I think you have a shape like this and you need to find the perimeter of it. So you just need to add all these things that you have, which was given polynomials. So girls, if you have any question in the homework, you can ask me during the office hour. Most welcome to ask, okay? So let's move to our lesson. Today's lesson, we're talking about multiplying polynomials. So we multiplied before polynomials, but we multiplied only one term like this, for example, by a polynomial. It could be 3x plus, for example, to the power 2 plus 2x plus 1x and so on. So which is here only one term, which means only monomial by a polynomial, which here including many terms. What about today's lesson? What is the new thing here? Let's see this chart here, which will make us clear instruction. So we know the area of rectangle, it's base by height, which is given here, the base 2x plus 1, which is 2x here from this, 2x plus 1. So 2x plus 1. That's the base that they gave us. Times, what is the height? The height is given by this one, which is x plus 2. As you can see here, that's x and here 1 plus 1, which is 2. So x plus 2. If you notice that, also you can use the kids' way. It's like, you know, once the kids are playing with some kind of games, they are adding all these things inside it. If we try to add all these inside, so 2x, we have this one, the square, x to the power 2 plus x to the power 2, which is, we can say directly, that is 2x. We have 2 of these. And we have how many from the green one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can say 5x, but remember it's to the power 1. So let me continue. We have plus 2. Isn't this expression equal this expression? Isn't it equal? The answer is yes, it is equal. Here we have these two polynomials. We are going to multiply them. So instead of having one term like this, which is given in the previous lesson, we will have two terms like this. Let's get started. So our objective is multiply two binomials. As we said, if we have two terms, we will call it binomials, or binomial by trinomial. Let's get started. So here, if we have something like this, we have two ways. I will show you this first way. I will show you the second way. Then I will give you the choice to choose the way that you like. So if you are trying to use distributive property, so you are going to distribute this one for all things that you have here, and you are going to distribute this one for all things that you have here. What do you mean, miss, by all this story? I mean 2x, open parenthesis, 3x minus 7. Okay, what is the sign here? Plus 4 for all this one, 3x minus 7. That's it. You just need to distribute again and distribute again. Even here, just I want to tell you that I use distributive property. Again, I got this term, I multiply it by all things that I have here. I had this term, I multiply it by all things that I have here. Like that, I opened my parentheses. Let's work on that. So 2 times 2, we learned this from the previous lesson. So that is 6x to the power 2 minus 14x plus 12 x 4 times negative 7, which is negative 28. Simplify what you can simplify. So you can simplify these because these are like terms. The power here is 1, the power here is 1, so these are like terms. So 6x to the power 2 minus 14 and 12, that will be negative 2x minus 2x. Even this one you can simplify it with also this one. Okay, let me continue writing this. So 2x. So since this is also power, this is 28. This is a number. So 4 times 7, it is 28. So that is 28. So I cannot simplify it. So that's it. I can calculate these. So that's what I have. And this one, I will drop it, nothing to simplify it with. Let me give you more exercises. This one, again, I'm going to use the same way. This one times this one. This one times, all this. Then this one times all of this one. So x times all things that I have in the second parenthesis plus 3 minus 6 times 4x plus 3. Multiply them. That will be 4x to the power 2 plus x times 3, 3x, minus, and 6 times 4, that is minus 24. X, 6 minus 6, don't forget the minus. Here, minus plus, okay, that will be 18. Calculate what you can calculate. These are like terms, so that will be x to the power 2 minus, because that's bigger than this one. 21 x minus 18. That's it. So that's the idea. But actually, to be honest, we will take better than this idea. Let me introduce with you, this is a table, using a table. So we have three ways. Let's use table here. For example, if we have, I'm going to write this one. For example, 4x minus 5. And I have here, for example, x minus 3. What will I gonna do? You know how to multiply in the multiplication table. This one times, this is multiplication. I will write dot or multiplication. This one times this one. So that is will be 4x to the power 2. Negative 3 times 4, negative 12x. Then here is same thing. Negative 5 times x, negative 5x. Exactly like multiplication table. Once we multiply, for example, 2 and 3 here, for example, let's say 5 and 6, we are saying between the multiplication that is 5 times 2, we are saying it's 10. 5 times 3, so we are saying that is 15. And this is not the first time that I'm giving you something similar to this one. So 6 times 2, it's a 12. 6 times 3, 18. So exactly the same idea that we are doing here, But the only thing different here, we will do one more step to write all these terms. We will add them all together. Negative 3 and negative 5, that is will be 15. Now all these terms that you got in your table, just add them all together and then you will get the result. So 4x to the power 2 minus 5x minus 12x plus 15. So I know that these are like terms, so just add them together. So that will be 4x to the power 2 minus and minus. I'm adding. If I'm adding, I will add them. So I will drop the sign that I have. So that will be 17x plus 15. That's my polynomial. If you girls using the same way that we did in the previous example, let me do exactly the same way. I will get the same result that I have here. So x times 4x minus 5 minus 3, 4x minus 5. Distribute, that is will be 4x to the power 2 minus 5x minus 12 plus 15. Once you add these, negative 17x plus 15 and 4x to the power 2. So which is exactly the same as this one. Exactly same. Let's move on. Let me give you more exercise. For this one, let's do table since they asked us or force us to use table. Let's use it. So 3x, here is 1. I'm going to write my table like that. Here I have x, here I have 4. If you change the order, girls, if you wrote the terms that you have here vertically in this column, no problem, you will get exactly same. I mean, if you write, for example, x and 4 here, no problem. And write 3x and 1 here, no problem. These are equal. They are same, no problem. Let's complete this table and get the result. So 3 times 3, that will be 3x to the power 2. 4 times 3, so we have 12x. X times 1, x. 4 times 1, 4. Add all these terms that you have here. So 3x to the power 2 plus x plus 12x plus 4. Add the like terms together. So that is will be 13x plus 4 plus 3x to the power 2. So that's the idea from the table. Now let's move to the third way. And this is, to be honest, I believe that this is the best way. Let me just give you quick introduction how we will get it. But later on, we don't need to have these diagrams or these charts. All these charts, it's just to help you. If we have, for example, this rectangle, and if we have, for example, the base or the width for this rectangle, 2x plus 2, which is given, this is given by x, and this is given, for example, x. Got it? Here is 1, and here is 1. This is represent 1, and this is represent also 1. This one, or let's represent this one by saying that's x, and that's x, and this is x2, and that is x2. So we can, or what I wrote before is correct. 1 and 1. So that is 2x plus 2, and here we have 1, 1, 1, so that's a 3. So x plus 3. We can rewrite this one like this. So x times 2x, which is 2x to the power 2. It's like the table we multiplied. Then 2 and x, which is 2x. And here, if we say this is each one from these represent 3. So that is 1, 1, 1. So all of this represent 3. And this is represent 2. So that will be 2 as written here, which is only this side. And here that will be 6x. Why this is 6x? Because 2x times 3, which is 6x. That's for this part. If you notice that this will be 2x times x, which is this one, that's what we wrote, and that's what we wrote them here. And that is 6x, which is this one. That is 2x, which is this one. Then finally, it is 6x, which is finding the area for all this. This way, we will call it FOIL. This way we'll call it, which means first term, the outer terms, the inner terms, and the last terms. Some of you, I'm sure 100%, some of you, they did not get the idea from all these charts. But trust me, with the example, you will feel it's more easier. So all your job, you will take this term. Can you see this term? Multiply this term by the first term that you have here and the second term that you have here. Again, once you've done that, take this one, multiply it by the first term again and the second term. So let's do that. So for the first part, we are going to have 5x times 2x. Let me write them step by step for you. Then later on, I will multiply immediately without doing all these details. So 5x times 2x. Then this one with the 1. So plus 5x times 1 Now I will move to the next part. So that is will be minus 3 times 2x minus 3 times 1. So basically that should be in the green one. So that is 10x to the power 2 plus 15x plus, or let's say minus here because we have the minus. So that is minus 6x minus 3. We can add these because these are like term. So that is will be 9x minus 3, 10x to the power 2. So that's the answer, finally. Definitely, you don't need this step. You can multiply immediately. I really encourage you to use this way, which is the best way. You can choose any way you like, definitely. I'm not forcing you to choose any way, but even in the Pearson, since it is multiple choice, unless if you have filling the blank, you might need some specific ways. So they are telling you that this is the first term, this is the future term, and this is the inner term, and this is the last term. So this is the answer. Let me give you more exercise so you will feel this is much easier than the first one. So this one, the first term by the first term, the first term by the second term. Then we are going to do the second term by the first one, the second term by the second one. Let's do that. So the first one, 3x times x, it will be 3x to the power 2. 3x times x, this is 3 times 1, so that is will be plus 3x to the power, sorry, I'm doing this one. 3x times 2, it is 6x, so that is 6x. Now let's do the one with the blue. Minus 4 times x, so that is minus 4x. Minus 4 times 2, that is minus 8. See how easy this way. Just add these and you are done. Why you can add these? Because these are like terms. So 3x to the power 2, that will be plus 2x minus 8. Next, again, exactly the same idea. First by first, first by second. Second by first, second by second. So, first by first, n times multiplication. Remember, they are stuck. N times for n, it will be 4n squared. Again, first by second, it will be minus 7n. Now, let me change for you the color to show you what I'm doing. Second by first, it will be 6 times 4, which is 24, but I have negative, so it will be negative 24n. Negative 6 times negative 7, negative and negative, be careful, it will be positive. So 6 times 7, it's going to be 42. So that's the idea. Now, these are exactly same. Since these are exactly same, you are going to add them or subtract them. So drop for n squared minus 7 and negative 4, it is minus 31. N plus 42. See the last one. First by first, first by second. Second by first, second by second. Let's go back to the first one. So here we have 2 times 2. It's 4 p squared, and p, it's p to the power 3. Always be careful once you work with that. 2p squared minus 5, it's going to be negative 10p to the power 2. Let me move to the last thing. 3 times 2p, it will be plus 6p. Just 3 times negative 5, it's going to be negative 15. The question here, is there anything I can simplify? The answer is no. This is p to the power 2. This is p to the power 1. You cannot add anything, so just keep it like that. Let me give you more exercises. Definitely now in this lesson, you learned the 3 ways to multiply binomials. I'm telling you, not only binomials, maybe trinomials or trinomials, or we can say polynomial. In general, girls, I will give you some example now. This is the best way. You can solve it by using distributive property, or you can make table, or you can finally use this way, which is FOIL. First, cuter, inner, finally, last, which is you don't need to memorize this. What I'm telling you, take each term, multiply it with all the terms that you have in the second polynomial, or any kind of polynomial. It could be binomial, trinomial, anything. You don't need to worry about that. Just take the first one, distribute it for all terms that you have in the second one. Take the second one, do exactly the same thing, and see if you can simplify anything else. Let me give you example. So I will give you example here to show you. So we back to the PowerPoint. Let me give you some exercises. I'll try with some easy exercises, then I will show you the others. So if we have, for example, like a question 26, these are the question from your book. So that is 3H, definitely problem 1, 2, 3, they are talking about the same concept, but how can you do it in 3 ways? So times 6H minus 5. So I immediately just will use the third way, which is the easiest way. That's what I believe. Just basically, just take this term, multiply it, the second and the third. This one, do same thing with it. So let's do that. 3H times 6h, I will look at the numbers first. 3 times 6, 18. H times h, which is h to the power 2. This one and this one. 3 times -5, -15. H, I don't forget the h because there is h here, plus 2 times 6h, 2 times 6, 12h. 2 times -5, which is -10. See if you can simplify anything. Yes, I can simplify these. So once you can simplify these, drop the others. H to the power 2 minus 15h plus 12. So these are different sign. Subtract them, take the larger. So -3h minus 10. That's for this example. Let me give you more. So what about if you have, for example, exercise for example, let's say 13. So 2x plus 7. Let me tell you, first way and third way, I can tell you they are similar. They all look like each other, but just little different steps. So use the way that you feel it's easier for you. But I always believe that this is easy way. So first by first, first by second, down, same thing, second by this one, by this one. So 2x times 3x, which is 6x to the power 2. Then we have this term by this term by the other one, so that will be -8x plus this one by this one will be 21x minus 28. I can add these, so these will be 8 and 21, so that will be 13x minus 28. Drop the last one, 6x to the power 2, and that's it. Let me give you one more exercise. I want to give you another powers than the powers that you have. So I will try to see some exercises. There is one small thing I want to mention for you. Here in this problem, what is the degree of the polynomial after multiplying? This is one trick will help you. Can you see the greatest power here? It's 2. What is the greatest power here? It's 1. So add these will be 3. So the degree of the polynomial that you will get is a 3. So this is one thing will help you. Will help you to once you work on that and figure out the answer. So basically, that's what I have for this lesson. I don't want to move more than that, but I just would like to give you one more exercise. We have also, let me write this exercise for you. C minus 6 Let me give you one thing from my mind. C to the power 3, for example, plus C. So that's from my mind. I want to show you how this will look like. Again, the first one by the first one, the first one by the second one. Same thing with these. So that will be C times C to the power 3, and here's the power 1. So C to the power 4, C to the times C plus C2 to the power 2, minus 6 and C3, so that is minus 6 C to the power 3, minus 6 and C, so that is minus 6 C. Can you add anything here? You cannot add anything here. What I was saying about the degree of the polynomial, you learned that this is polynomial in the previous lessons. So what is the degree of the polynomial of this polynomial according to the power? Degree according to the power. So what is the greatest power? Is 4. So that's why I'm telling you, you can check from here. What is the greatest polynomial? What is the greatest degree here in this polynomial? 3. What is the greatest here? It's a 1. So 3 plus 1, which is 4, that's what you have, which is the degree of the polynomial, of the new polynomial. Let me give you one more thing before I conclude my lesson. So I just want you to notice that, for example, if you have, for example, 3x plus 2, for example, times more terms here, plus, let's say 2 to the power 2, for example, that's x plus, for example, 1. You don't need to worry even if you have something like that. Exactly same thing. That's what I was saying. It is much easier than doing the other ways. So just directly do it with all of them. Then take this, do it with all of them. It's true, it's long. Yeah, it is long. But it is easy if you focus on that. So 3x times 3, so that is 9. I will look at the powers that I have. Here it's 1 and here it's 2. So 9 to the power, x to the power 3. So plus 3x times 2 plus 6x to the power 2. That's what I have, because here is power 1 and here is power 1. 3x times 1. So once you multiply anything by 1, so it's a 3x itself. You will go to the next part. The next part that you have. So 2 times 3x to the power 2. So that will be plus 6x to the power 2. 2 times 2x. So that will be plus 4x. Finally, 2 times 1, it's plus 2. See if you can have like terms. I have this one and this one, they are like terms. I have also this one and this one, they also like terms. Let's do that. So let me drop the others. So I have 9x to the power 3. I have at the end plus 2. I cannot do anything with it. So I need to just to do my calculation for this term and this term. So that is 6x to the power 2 plus 6x to the power 2. So that will be plus 12x to the power 2, because these are like terms. Then you have finally this term and this term. So they are 3x and 4x, 7x, and that's it. And this is the remaining part. So this is the idea from this lesson. I don't want to take more than my time in this lesson. So good luck, girls. I'm going to continue. Just keep in your mind, the last problem will be introduction for problem 4. Good luck, girls, and bye. Don't forget to do your homework.